Love that go live button. Here we are. Wow. Welcome to the Pathway to Choose Joy. I'm Nance. And today, we're talking about something many of us know deeply, the cost of staying too long. Hmm. Staying too long in careers that drain us, in relationships that no longer align, patterns that once protected us but now keep us stuck. Sometimes we stay because we're loyal. Sometimes we stay because we're afraid. Sometimes we stay because we've invested so much that walking away feels like failure. But what if the real loss isn't leaving? What if the real loss is what happens to us when we continue abandoning ourselves by staying? Through the Pathway to Joy method, identify, nurture, restore, and reconnect, we begin to understand that awareness creates choice. And what we become aware of, we can choose. So there comes a moment. Sometimes it arrives loudly, and sometimes it comes as the quietest whisper. A knowing, a truth that rises inside of you and says, this no longer fits. You feel it before you can explain it. The heaviness, the exhaustion, the resistance, the internal conversation that keeps repeating. Maybe if I try harder, maybe if I push longer, maybe if I just hold on a little bit more. And yet, beneath all of that, you already know. You know because your body knows, your spirit knows, your truth knows. The first step is always awareness, to identify what is no longer aligned, to stop pretending not to notice what your soul has already recognized. Yeah, and this part matters deeply because the part of us that stays too long is not weak. It's often wounded. It's the part that I learned survival through endurance, the part that believes safety comes through pleasing, proving, or persevering, the part that fears change because uncertainty once felt dangerous. That part does not need judgment. It needs compassion. It needs nurturing. It needs gentleness. It needs to hear you are safe to choose differently now. Healing happens when we stop criticizing ourselves for what kept us safe and begin lovingly guiding ourselves towards what helps us grow. Every time we choose ourselves, something is restored. Our voice, our trust, our peace, our power. Walking away is not always dramatic. It doesn't always come with loud declarations or slam doors. Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes it is simply the moment you stop betraying yourself, the moment you choose alignment over obligation, the moment you say, I will no longer sacrifice myself to sustain what is no longer mine to carry. That is restoration. That is reclaiming your life. Yeah. Joy requires truth, it requires alignment, it requires courage. You cannot fully connect with joy while disconnecting from yourself. Sometimes the very thing standing between you and your next level of peace is your willingness to release what no longer belongs, not because it failed, not because it was wasted, but because it fulfilled its purpose. And now your growth is asking for something new. Reconnection begins the moment you honor what you already know. Hmm. So today, I want to leave you with this question. Where in your life are you staying too long? What are you continuing to carry that no longer belongs to you? What truth have you already identified but not yet honored? Because the cost of staying too long is often far greater than the fear of letting go. And sometimes choosing joy begins with release. I'm Nancy Nance, and this is the pathway to choose joy. Until next time, remember what we become aware of, we can choose. And today, choose joy.